Hello, Elena, and hello, Alexis. How are you today?
Hello, Letty. I am absolutely fine. I'm glad to see you again, Alexei.
Hello, dear friends. Nice to see you. I'm happy to participate, take part in our meeting.
So today you have sent me some questions, and with those questions, we hope to have a conversation. Okay? So as normal, to help me keep going, I prepare them on a PowerPoint. So I called it question time because they are your questions. Now, this comes from Elena's question. Remember your question that we will have in a minute. So I thought we would look at this. Sorry, Alex, another subject that maybe not up your street, maybe not your thing. So here you can imagine sewing has hundreds of items and vocabulary to use, but I just chose these very quickly from Google to help us. So by any chance, Elena, can you sew?
Yes.
Can you sew by hand or by machine?
Only by hand.
Right. And Alex, it's a question I should ask you as well. Can you sew?
Yes, I also can.
Right, nice surprise. And what can you sew, by hand or by machine?
Yes, sure, only by hand. Just for repairing of my maybe clothes, I can sew button and maybe some holes.
Right. No, because my brother, he taught himself a little bit how to use the machine. So it depends on life and things that happen, you learn quicker. So here, I'm going to point at some things, Elena, if you can say them. Maybe I won't point at everything because there are so many words, but people can see them. So what do they call these?
Color pins.
Pins, right? So we need pins to hold the material together maybe while we are sewing. Or maybe we would use a pattern, which could be paper, to put on the material, and we would pin it, the paper to the material. So it can be a verb then and an anno, a pin, and to pin it. Okay? Now, these ones here, the next one, in the black.
Sewing needles.
Needles. So these are sewing needles. They come in all sizes, and sometimes some are thicker or thinner. I have some needles now which I don't know in English exactly, but I call them blind needles because you don't thread them through the eye of the needle, you pull them down the top, and it's for people that can't see very well, because as you can imagine, this is the eye of the needle and you are trying to thread it. Sometimes it can be a little challenging, you know, if you can't see very well. So I have one which is a bit like this, and you just pull the thread down in the middle, and then you can sew. So you don't need to try and thread it through the eye.
I didn't know there is some such needles.
Yes, I go to the shop and they sell it. They call them in Spanish blind needles, but maybe in English they would have another name. So I learned that in Spain, so I've not really thought about it in English. The next one, this blue one.
Pin cushion.
So that's where we put all our pins to make them easier to pick up. Now, I have this, for example, it's called a seam ripper. So when you sew two pieces of material together and you make a mistake, you can use this gadget to unsew what you have done incorrectly. No? And then we have the pencil and we have some more. Now here, the big one here, what are these called?
A large stainless steel scissor.
Scissors, so scissors, no? And we must be careful because they are scissors. So even if it's only one object, we say they are scissors. So it's only something simple, but we should remember. And this one here, I don't call it a measuring tape, I call it a tape measure. I don't know why. I personally call it a tape measure, right? So you can say measuring tape, And this is very important as well, this metal here. What is this?
Thimble.
Thimble. We're supposed to put it on our finger to protect it while we're sewing. I have never learned how to use a thimble, and I sew without a thimble. And I know people tell me, why haven't you put on your thimble? No? So it's supposed to be a good way of pushing the needle into the material, the thimble. Yeah. And then here we have spools of thread. So these are called threads or cotton. I call them cotton, no? And I just wanted to do that very quickly. So we're going to try and name the things on the next page here. So number one, Elena, are?
Scissors.
Scissors. Number two, Alex?
Iron.
Iron. Number three, one each.
Cotton.
Cotton. The next one?
I forgot.
With the Z, is it here? I haven't looked at the answers. Ah, yes, it's here with the Z. Z-I-P.
Z-I-P.
Zip.
Zip.
Right, so it's here at the top. I can see it here, right? Zip. The next one, Elena?
Oh, I don't know the name. I'm looking for it.
With a P. Second line.
Pattern.
Pattern. So this is when we want to do something a little more serious. We're going to make a garment. We're going to make a garment, and so we would use a pattern. The next one, Alex.
Pin cushion.
Pin cushion. Next.
Thimble.
Thimble.
Type measuring tape.
Measuring tape. Now this one, I'm not sure. Maybe it's with an R in the first line.
Ribbon.
Ribbon. So normally we would tie our hair up with the ribbon. Right, we normally tie her up, but maybe we need the ribbon to cover something or do something on the garment. No? The next one, Alex.
Needle.
Needle. Oh, I've no idea what the next one is.
So in basket, I think.
Could it be a sewing machine? Oh no, the sewing machine's further down. What did you say it was again, please? Sewing basket.
Sewing basket.
Right, the next one.
Patch, maybe
pocket.
Pocket.
Where you put your things in your trousers in the pocket.
Pocket.
Right, and the next one, Elena.
Sewing machine.
Yeah, the next one.
Button.
Button, yes, and the next?
It's a safety pin.
Safety pin, because normally we put it to save something. And the last one?
I don't know, but material.
Material, right? So these hopefully were related to a question we will ask in a minute, right? So I hope you like that, even though it wasn't planned. Okay, so these are Elena's questions. Right, here we go. Do you know how to tell a boiled egg from a raw one? Alex, do you know the answer to that?
How to tell a boiled egg from the raw one? Maybe we should turn them on the table and speed of the
right, so we should spin the two eggs on the top of a flat surface, and what happens?
It seems to me boiled eggs maybe faster than
a raw one.
A raw one, yes.
I have no idea. Elena has to tell me because I didn't Google it to know the answer.
Yes, Alex said, is it true? But I was curious how to describe all this in English. So it's the verb to spin.
So we would spin the egg on a flat surface and the cooked egg would go faster than the raw one.
Yes, it's true.
That's what the answer is. Okay, then. And the next question, Alex, when was the last time you broke an egg by accident?
I don't remember when it was.
Maybe
but
it's never in the kitchen to break an egg. I'm always horrible to Alex, but you have to defend yourself, Alex. So do you use eggs in the kitchen? Do you cook anything in the kitchen?
Maybe when I try to bring them from the store. And
that's what I thought as well. When I come from the supermarket and they come in like a carton box, when I'm putting them into the fridge on the shelf, that especially for eggs, sometimes the egg is stuck in the carton, or you do something with your hands and it falls on the floor, no? So that's maybe more. And Elena, when you are cracking an egg, how do you do it when you crack an egg?
I didn't actually crack an egg, but recently I have an accident with egg when I already put it on my fry pan, and I held it in my hands and spoke to my children and turned my hand, and I
so you get distracted. You get distracted, no? So when you get distracted, you break the egg. Now, I break my egg by knocking it on a surface or hitting it on the surface, and then I can do it with one hand. So people normally crack and open, no? Yes. And I can crack it on the side and open it with my fingers. Like just with one hand. Okay, then. The next question. Do you have a bad habit that sometimes annoys others? Alex?
Yes, it seems to me I do, but I'm not sure it's a true bad habit. I like to get up earlier than other, and sometimes I a little bit noise, and noise after me annoy my wife, and she always asks me.
As you get up early, you are an early bird. Well, an early bird. You know the saying? There's a saying: the early bird catches the worm. You know what a worm is? It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like a thing that a bird eats from the ground. Have you ever seen something? Watch my finger.
I don't know what worm. It's
yes. So this is what birds eat from the ground. So the saying is, the early bird catches the worm. So this is you, Alex. You're the early bird that catches the worm, but your family are thinking, oh my God, it's Alex again. He's not letting us sleep. No, they get annoyed with you, no?
Yes, and my bones also sometimes make sounds, and my wife, oh, you should a little bit slower.
So I would send you to the other side of the house, and you can wake up early on the other side of the house. No, I don't have a problem with this, but your family do. And you, Elena, have you got a bad habit that annoys people?
Oh, I'm trying to be a nice person to people around me, but I know that when I like a song, some new song, I can repeat it and listen one song for really a long time, for maybe 4 hours.
Oh, right.
I don't do it very loud, of course, and sometimes with
so you like hum it or sing it. So if a song is catchy, I think is the way to say it. So if it's
I can just listen
song,
to it many times, and my children, they don't have a choice. They listen to it with me. I think for them it's not very nice.
Right, so it gets into your head because it's a catchy melody or lyrics, and you say it many times, and this could be annoying for people.
I think, yes.
I have a long list of things that annoy people. I'm very repetitive. Like, if I don't trust people to do things, I would say, Elena, do this for me. And then maybe half an hour later, Elena, have you done? So I repeat myself many times if I don't feel sure that you're going to do it, maybe. I will have other bad habits, but at the moment, I'm not going to go into them. Right. And this is where our vocabulary came from. Would you have your clothes sewn by a tailor or a seamstress? Now, I forgot to put another S on that. Seamstress with double S at the end. And a seamstress is the woman who sews, and a tailor is a man that sews. Maybe they have a word now for both genders doing this profession, but I don't know it. So a tailor normally is a man, and a seamstress is normally a woman that sews to earn her living. And they're called made-to-measure clothes. So you asked us if we would like to have our clothes made to measure, and why. I think that was your question. Or would we rather go to the normal boutique or clothes shop for our clothes? So Alex, what do you think?
I can't say I prefer, for me only one way. I always go to the boutique because I remember when I was a child, my wife decided to make for me some, I don't know, clothes, and it was once in my life, which was made by seamstress. It was seamstress. It was a woman.
Right. And you, Elena?
I also prefer to go to the store or boutique because it's more fast, and I just like to choose something by surprise. I don't know what I want, but I see first and I choose something. But when I was a teenager, my mother took me to a seamstress, and she made for me a few very nice dresses, and it was very good for me. Maybe I would like them, but it's take a lot of time to find a good seamstress, to go to her who made this sizes.
Yeah, I think this is more a thing of the past, because now it would be so expensive, the time of these people, no? And in the past, life didn't go so quickly. So my mother used to make all my clothes, but that was because of economical reasons. So all of us went in the same material, the four of us, all different shapes and sizes. But my mother made our clothes because it was just cheaper, and it's what we could have. Then I can't remember how many years ago I went to sewing classes. And that was because I couldn't find clothes to fit me here in Spain, because I'm so big, and the Spanish people before are a more petite size. And so I couldn't find clothes. So I thought, well, I have to do something. I can't bring them always from England every year. So I went to sewing classes and I started to make clothes for myself. And it would take me a month to make something from start to finish, the pattern, tack it together, try it on, don't know, this is not right. So it would take me about a month. And then at the end of the month, maybe you don't want to wear these things because you've gone off them, no? But clothes do look a lot better when you make them made to measure. And I made some do you know what flamenco dresses are? They are Spanish dance dresses with lots of frills and different, and I made them for my daughters. And when I finished, I felt very happy that I could produce something so beautiful, and my daughters look so good in these clothes. So you can buy them. So it was like a hobby, something to do in my free time. But as you said, it takes a long time. But clothes look better on you, I can tell you now, when they're made to measure. But we haven't got time for that. And in England, there was like a trend or a fashion for quick, cheap clothes. So they would go into this shop, I'm not going to say the brand name, buy something cheap, wear it this weekend out in the club or dancing and everything, and then they wouldn't wear it again. So they wanted something cheap, fashionable, they could put on and not worry that if they didn't put it on again. So that was a new thing. And if you investigate on Google or anywhere, this is a problem now. Contamination of clothes.
Yes, I agree.
Right,
Yes.
so contamination of clothes. I saw a video about it the other day, that in Africa, all the clothes that we don't want secondhand are being dumped in Africa, and they're killing off the sea life in the ocean because of the clothes which are dumped there in the water. So you can find information about